Thank you for joining us today for our second webinar. As you can see, we'll be talking about global healthcare benefits today. Feel free to use the Q&A window to tell us where you are. I do hope it's a little bit warmer than it here is in the UK. Once we've moved on to the second slide, please use the same window to ask any questions that you have for the panel, as we won't be unmuting people. I'll give people another minute or so to join us, but I can already see people joining from all over the place, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's get started. We've got some very, very eager panelists to share all kinds of information and knowledge with you. So we'll kind of get back into it, and we'll start with meeting our speakers. Hello again. My name is Ian Giles. I'm the payroll strategist at Papaya Global. I've worked in payroll for over 20 years in startup and matrixed environments in industries ranging from retail and beauty to aerospace. I've worked with populations of over 100,000 in over 170 countries. We were due to have Amit with us today, but unfortunately he can't be here. So I'm joined by Cognyte, who is the head of global services here at Papaya Global. Cognyte, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, indeed. Hello, everyone. My name is Cognyte. I'm head of global services at Papaya Global, leading the equity, immigration, and benefits teams of experts. 20 years of experience in leadership roles in business development, establishment of partnerships within the corporate, government, and startup environments. On a personal aspect related to our subject today, I've had the opportunity to relocate to 6 different countries. The importance of offering a proper global healthcare as an employee was a crucial factor during negotiations, if to take or not to take the job. Thank you, Ian.
Okay, thanks very much. You're making me feel very, very jealous, and so is Zhao, who's in Portugal. I can only assume that it's a lot warmer than it is here. I'm also joined by Natalie, who is the Global Business Development Department Manager at DavidShield. Would you like to introduce yourself, Natalie, and briefly tell us about DavidShield?
Sure. Thank you, Ian, and hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to discuss such an important topic as this one. I am, as Ian said, the Department Manager of Business Development at DavidShield, a leader in the individual private medical insurance industry, or IPMI as we call it. I've been in the insurance industry for about 20 years, 10 of the last in DavidShield. DavidShield both insures and provides administrative services to multinational global organizations such as small and medium enterprises, large corporations, governmental entities, and other private clients. They all have one thing in common, which is that the employer finds value in providing quality health insurance plans for their employees, especially following the pandemic that affected us all. It's definitely one segment where the employees feel safe and appreciated by their employer, which is the health insurance aspect.
Fantastic, thanks very much. Lastly, and by no means least, I also have Avanthi with me today. She's the EMEA People Senior Director at Cognyte. Can you tell us about yourself and what Cognyte do?
Hi, Ian. Hi there. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me. As mentioned, my name is Avanthia, and I've been in the HR domain for over 20 years. I've had the pleasure of traveling extensively throughout my career to many countries. As a global company at Cognyte, our focus is to put our employees and their peace of mind at the center. It's about well-being, work-life balance, flexibility, and of course, trust. We ensure that per region, our employees get what they are entitled to and beyond. Over and above a plan or a process, we always connect with our employees at a time of need, which is super important and our differentiator.
Okay, thank you very much to the three of you. So let's get stuck into the agenda. Today, we're going to talk about employee health benefits, how the pandemic has affected them, the shift in healthcare and the needs and expectations of employees, as well as how the provision of global healthcare plans is helping to attract and retain employees, as well as what the new standards in global healthcare are today. This should leave us with enough time at the end to ask our panel a question or 3. It seems very, very hard to believe that COVID turned 3 years old at the beginning of this year. And in that time, the pandemic has had a significant impact on employees' expectations of global healthcare. With the pandemic causing widespread illness and hospitalization, many employees have become more aware of the importance of healthcare coverage and have increased their own demand on employers for plans that cover a wide range of services, including telehealth and mental health. 3 months into 2023, many of us are still facing the economic impact of the pandemic. Inflation is rising, cost of living is increasing, and many companies are still going through some sort of restructuring or redundancy exercise, which is only increasing the uncertainty on a much more global level. Avanti, I'd like to start with you if I can. How did the pandemic affect you, and have you gotten back into life before it? What have you learned and what have you had to change?
So as an organization, we always exercised flexibility, and for us, creating the right environment for our people to flourish is always top of mind. The pandemic saw us navigate uncertainty, and the lockdown brought with it a lot of instability and fear. As an organization, we were fortunate to be able to very quickly adapt and move to being fully remote and to put the health and safety of our people first. Being fully remote, of course, has its challenges, and we navigate it by providing a range of additional well-being initiatives to help our people deal with being in lockdown and staying healthy through online workout sessions, eating plans, psychological support. And with the right health partner, we were also certain that any health concern during the pandemic would be managed. Post-COVID, we were one of the first companies to introduce hybrid as a solution, and we see great benefits to a healthy mix between work from home and the office. Employees are enjoying the face-to-face interaction on the one hand, and the freedom that they have to work from home on the other hand.
Okay, thanks. Very, very interesting. I'm sure lots of people can resonate with what it is that you've just said. Natalie, what's been different for you? How have you adapted?
Well, first I would say that pre-COVID, as a business development manager, I would frequently travel internationally to meet existing and potential clients. These meetings were always face-to-face and sometimes included large trainings with a high number of participants all in one room. Since COVID, like the rest of the world, I needed to adapt to using Zoom or Teams for these purposes. It proved to be no less efficient, but it still missed the personal touch. Working from home on a day-to-day basis definitely had its perks, but ultimately it left me feeling a little detached from my team, and sometimes things got a little hectic with many children in different rooms on Zoom. But I never had the work from home option, which at first was isolating, but I learned to eventually appreciate its advantages, and now I can work hybrid when needed. It was definitely a game changer for everyone. As far as the company is concerned, DavidShield, it is a well-known fact that most insurance companies had to adjust their health insurance plans because most of them, pre-COVID, had a pandemic exclusion from their policy, since it was a situation that the world had not known for decades and no one really thought about. But fortunately, the DavidShield policy never had such an exclusion, and at the time it was seen as a huge benefit for our customers. Obviously, medical insurance has become a significant concern for employers worldwide, even more since then, equal to salary, pension savings, and other important benefits. In the post-COVID era, when recruiting employees became a challenge, a comprehensive health insurance plan such as ours was always perceived as an incentive and something employees used always to compare to their next workplace. Another major difference in the pre-COVID and post-COVID world is the coverage for 24/7 telehealth services. The growth of telehealth is projected to continue even after COVID shifts. Once it's over, we assume that people are still going to always want to use it. And although we always had a doctor's on-call service to get second opinions, we realized very quickly that we needed to provide telemedicine during times when people could not leave their homes. So that's just some of the adjustments we made.
Okay, thanks very much. I can definitely relate to some of the things that you said, particularly not being able to get all of the bandwidth at home for 12 weeks out of 52 because the children are on holidays. Looking at things from a slightly different point of view, Gillet, what have you seen in terms of businesses changing their healthcare priorities, and how has that impacted employees?
So looking into the changes pre and post-pandemic, indeed, Many countries around the world have enforced mandatory healthcare to employees. You can see Japan, India, Germany. Companies had to reevaluate their healthcare offering and adapt to the growing demands of their employees. And according to a research conducted with HR and reward leaders from the UK, priorities have indeed changed. There's a strong correlation between benefits offering to employees and its impact on businesses. For example, 61% replied it enhances employee well-being. 53% saw it as a way to attract talent, and 48% consider it as a tool for employee retention. Moving on to the next slide, and even more significantly, the pandemic has led to employees taking more interest in benefits. 81% of HR leaders have seen more employee engagement with benefits. 73% noted that employees now request more options in their benefit choices, and 70% have seen a rise in negotiation around benefit packages. I can even add that HRs from global companies reported even higher demands from their employees worldwide. There's no doubt that in today's world, healthcare has become a top priority, both for employees and for employers, focusing on comprehensive, easy, and accessible solutions.
Yeah, thanks very much. And some interesting numbers there. I'm not surprised in the results at all. Everybody that I speak to is pretty much on the same page at this moment in time. Things have dramatically changed from where we were previously. It's great to have Avanthia with us today, representing Cognyte. I think people relate more to problems that they faced and those that they're facing when they hear it firsthand and from somebody who's experienced the same things. Avanthia, do you feel that it's important to employees for them to have a comprehensive health plan these days?
Absolutely. First and foremost, it's peace of mind. You don't realize how important it is until you actually need it. Employees can receive consultation, treatment, checkup, without having to worry about how much it will cost or can I afford it. Health plan was always important. I think the pandemic just put it at the forefront and highlighted its importance. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, thanks. So flipping it on the reverse side of things, you are an employee of Cognyte. What value has the plan had most to you?
So for me, it's the flexibility, the great customer support, the ease of communication with via the app or WhatsApp or phone. It's a smooth payment process, and there's also very easy consultation, and I think the flexibility is the main value for me.
Okay, thanks. So from an employee side point of view and from an employer point of view, do you think a good health plan helps to retain and attract talent?
Yes, absolutely. I wholeheartedly believe this, not only because it's a personal consideration for me, but because I've heard many people express the importance of a good health plan. We meet with friends, you meet with family, and in the conversations, a good health plan always comes up, and impacts not only joining an organization, but also staying.
I think absolutely. If we look to before the pandemic, I think we could probably factor in the facts that older people, different generations, were wanting this type of compensation within the businesses that they're working for. But I think now we are definitely looking at a much younger generation that is considering these options as well. I think it's really great to hear that all of this is going on. I think more than ever, this is making companies destination employers, the places that employees want to be. It's no longer about just getting money in the bank at the end of the pay cycle. People are wanting a lot more than they previously have done. So thank you for that. Natalie, moving on to you, I think it's definitely fair to say that it's not off the shelf. It's not out of the box healthcare as we've known it before. What you've built with Papaya Global could be considered to be a new standard in global healthcare. What makes it different from what others are currently offering? Can you tell the audience what goes into creating something like this?
Sure, Ian. Well, basically, Papaya was looking for a universal healthcare solution for all its clients, no matter where they were in the world, as long as they had the option to choose a health insurance plan suitable for their employees' needs. This allows for a one-stop shop that Papaya's clients can use like the rest of their services, and they know that Papaya is providing the best solution for them. In the insurance industry, typically small companies are treated that way. And it's reflected in their pricing, it's reflected in their underwriting. And through Papaya, they are able to get better rates and coverages due to the entire Papaya group being part of the DavidShield platform. There are dedicated account managers that provide another level of customer service through our business coordination center. We've created simplified billing that Papaya's clients also benefit from directly with Papaya. On another level, I would say that health insurance can sometimes be perceived as bureaucratic and tiring, and it does not always lead to satisfaction on the customer's end. But as Avanthia so nicely described, DavidShield has created a method in which this bureaucracy is eliminated through our patented technology called the David card, as you can see on the slide. The David card is a real-time claims processing tool in the form of a debit card, and it's used through our mobile app. There are no specific networks of providers required, and although the traditional reimbursement method is still available, the new standard is freedom of choice of providers and technology with no interim financing at all. This is extremely innovative, which is something Papaya saw as a valuable incentive for its clients. So this is where Papaya's philosophy and DavidShield's philosophy join forces to create 3 unique plans, which allow for the ultimate user experience. What makes us different is that we don't just offer healthcare or health insurance coverage, but we actually succeed in changing the opinion of our customers about insurance as a whole. We actually put trust in our members by giving them funds to pay for their medical expenses before they've even visited their medical providers. There are no forms to complete, and it's completely hassle-free. Both Papaya and DavidShield wish to make the whole concept of group insurance as easy and as effortless as possible so that employers can focus on growing their businesses with peace of mind.
That's great. You've mentioned some really, really important parts there. As an employee, somebody who's had a plan previously, I've experienced how difficult it is just to kind of claim back on a prescription cost. And from an employer point of view, there is nothing worse than having forms to kind of like flow through data processes when there is no real need for it to take place. What we have here is the complete opposite of that. Obviously, the webinar is all about global healthcare. We've used the word on several occasions. Where do DavidShield operate?
So the fact that we use this universal technology, which I described, the David card, it means that we're not limited to any regional or local trends. It allows us to operate on a global level with medical providers all over the world. We operate in over 160 countries, overcome geographical borders, cultural and language barriers, and even bridge Western and traditional medicine in certain places. After all, everyone, everywhere knows how to use a debit or credit card, and the medical industry is willing to accept our offer for a more efficient and user-friendly claims processing method. Obviously, the simple to use mobile app adds also to the positive customer experience because wherever they are in the world, globally, they can use it.
Okay, thanks. We've got one question that's just come in, and it's very apt to where we currently are now. What is the level of coverage that you offer? Is dental included? Can we just cover a couple of the little, nuances within there?
So basically, the 3 different plans that we have are, they start with the health insurance plans. One is a bronze plan, which is, more simple inpatient. And then we have our silver plan, which is the middle plan, and the gold plan. The coverages all are dependent on which plan they take. In order to get dental, it's another rider that we offer, not just dental, but we also offer vision as an add-on.
Okay, thanks. We'll go into a little bit more of the detail in terms of the plans in a couple of slides, but I thought it was quite important to kind of like get through that one. We don't want to kind of like detract away from where we're going, so we'll kind of like carry on there. Thanks, Natalie. Okay, so Gillick, can you expand on the partnership between Papaya and DavidShield? How was it born? What was the necessity?
Okay, so echoing Natalie, and as a SaaS company that specializes in global payroll and payments, we have recognized the unique needs of our clients, and it's to unify global workforce under one solution. We partnered with DavidShield to offer an exclusive benefit offering. The advantages is number one, a comprehensive international healthcare plan in over 160 locations, no minimum head count required. Number two, it eliminates the hassle of our clients from sourcing, comparing country-specific traditional plans, okay? And number three, it provides an equal plan for all your employees, no matter where they are.
Okay, thanks very much. I think number one is definitely an important factor. Lots of small businesses aren't able to get the kind of cover they want because insurers won't look at them because of the size of the headcount they've got. This is a completely different way of looking at things. Moving on to the knowledge base, and we'll kind of cover off the different plans in the next slide or so. But for those of you that aren't Papaya clients, you won't be aware of this. We do offer a knowledge base within our services, which enables our clients to understand businesses' country-specific obligations in the countries that they operate in, and also the ones that they are considering operating in. They find it an invaluable source of information. We're not going to do a live demo today, but if we were to drill into a particular country, Mexico, for example, you can see here on screen, you would see that it contains employer and employee contribution percentages, working time rules, payroll, leave types, termination processes, working visas, and minimum wage plus a lot more. Everything you need to know when you have people on the ground or are venturing into new countries. Within the knowledge base, there is a global healthcare plan section. Gilead, can you explain to can you just tell the audience a little bit more about this, please?
Absolutely. So the knowledge base, which is available to the Papaya clients, is also an excellent source to learn more about the Papaya Global Health Plan. If we scroll through the table of content to choose your global health plan, okay, clients can choose out of the 3 plans offered. Bronze for an affordable health plan, ensuring employees and their family have access to basic medical care. There's silver and there's gold for a more comprehensive plan, including the option to add dental and vision coverage. In the table of content, you can view the pricing of the plans, the country availability, how to enroll. And you know what? If you have no clue on what is common practice in a specific location, we have prepared our country-specific recommendations by our team of experts.
Okay, thank you. I think for me, this is the one page, the visual, that really breaks down what the different levels of the plans and options are. That has kind of taken us to the Q&A section. So I can see that we've got a few questions coming in now at this moment in time. So what I'll do is I'll pick one for each of our panel. Having a look through, I can see we've got one that's probably really applicable to Gilead. How has the plan been received by Papaya clients and employees?
Well, multinational companies are expected today to provide a more unified benefit offering for all their team members. According to our clients' feedbacks, the benefit actually elevates the overall employee experience. It helps our clients build a stronger workplace culture worldwide. It helps improve employee retention, and attract new talents. The plans are easy to use, they're flexible, and they're accessible, no matter where your employees are. This is actually the shift from the traditional health insurance to the global healthcare we're talking about today. And Ian, I see that one of the questions is it available to all the Papaya customers? Indeed, just contact us. We'll be more than happy to explain, analyze your locations, and decide together with you what plan, or if a local plan is enough. Please feel free to contact us.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, on the last slide, what we'll do is we'll give everybody the details of how they can kind of make an inquiry for us. So one of the other questions I've got, I think this is definitely for Avanthia. Why is the plan better than a monthly allowance?
With the monthly allowance, you receive the money and you may not put it to where it needs to go, and healthcare is important. And if you don't use it for this purpose, when you need it most, you won't be able to have that care and peace of mind. So definitely a good healthcare plan. I would choose time and time again over an allowance.
Absolutely. I think when we're looking at monthly allowances, there is a tendency, whether or not it be health related, car related, or any other kind of benefit, that cash is potentially always used for something else rather than its real purpose. I'm going to be really cheeky here. I can see two questions that I think almost fit together. So I'm going to roll them up. Natalie, how easy is the process of making a claim? And are there any plans to introduce a digital version of the David card in, say, Apple Pay or Google Pay, for example?
Sure. So the claim process is actually very easy, just as easy as it sounds. When using the David card, which is the preferred way, you just enter the mobile app 24 hours in advance of your doctor's visit or purchasing medication. Load it with funds after answering 2 simple questions. Then you pay at the doctor's office, take a picture of the receipt and upload it to our app, which is then sent to customer service. With that, the whole claims process is complete, which is definitely easier than claims forms and sending them and waiting for a response. I know somebody had asked about getting refunds. That's also a possibility too. If you want to pay out of pocket and ask for a refund, it's within 3 to 5 business days. But again, the preferred method is using the card, so you don't have to put any money out of pocket at all. The card itself, you asked, it is a physical card right now. It's a Visa that everyone's familiar with. But of course, with trying to improve our customer experience and trying to be as innovative and up to date, we are always working on getting digital versions to have available for our members.
Okay, thanks very much. I said I was going to give you one question each, and those on, we are just about running out of time at this moment in time. I would like to thank you all. And all I can say now is that we've run out of time. I would like to thank all of the audience members for joining us today. I hope we've given you a lot to think about. If you do have a question after we close out or would like some more information on what you've seen and heard today, please reach out to us at globalbenefits@papaya.com. Thank you for joining us. One of the very, very last questions that came out is, will we be sharing these slides for future reference? And my final point is that we'll be sharing this webinar as a recording with everybody over the next few days. Again, thank you all for joining us. I hope you've really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.